Hello everyone, I'm Tabitha with Moonlight Custom Creations, and today I'm going to show you how to do a spooky sunset, spooky house, Halloween tumbler. So go ahead, stay tuned, watch the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's go ahead and let's get started. All right, y'all, what I have here is a 20-ounce skinny, and this is from Stainless Steel Depot. I will have a link for them down in the description box below. We are using the epoxy method, so I have epoxy here, and we're going to start out with this Galaxy glitter. And just like any other time, I went ahead and put on my glove. Now I do have 10 milliliters of epoxy here. I'm not going to use all of it. I do use about 3 to 5 milliliters here, but for the sake of measuring, I always just measure out 10. And you want to make sure that you put a very thin coat of epoxy on here, just enough to create an adhesive surface on your tumbler. So I do apply some pressure with my finger and scrape all the excess and then move it around my entire tumbler. Now that we have the epoxy applied to our tumbler, we're going to start off with Galaxy. Now all my glitters are from the Glitter Grind, and I will have a link for them down in the description box below. Now when I do this, I'm starting just with the Galaxy at the bottom. I'm doing the very, very bottom because I want that to be my absolute darkest. Also, I want my absolute darkest to be around the bottom rim. So I'm starting off with a very, very bottom, and I like to use my finger and just tap the glitter shaker. That way a bunch of glitter doesn't come out and go everywhere. So I'm just lightly tapping and turning my tumbler. That way I get some sort of dark line. I don't want it to be completely straight, but I want it to be as straight as possible. Now that we have that, I'm going to hold my shaker up pretty far from the tumbler and then just lightly tap and slightly turn my tumbler so that the bottom is upwards just a little bit. And this will give like a nice little ombre effect because it will cause some of the glitter to kind of trickle up. And that's what you want here. You want all your glitters to blend by the time you're done. And then you just want to go ahead and shake off the excess. Now that we're done with our Galaxy, we're going to go ahead and do the base of our sunset. Right here I'm using Sun Glow, and this is from the Glitter Grind as well. All my glitters are from the Glitter Grind. And I'm just lightly tapping this on, making the heaviest right in the middle and letting it trickle down into the Galaxy and up. You really want to lightly tap this because with this one, you don't want like a huge line like I do on the Galaxy. I just want a fine line of the Sun Glow. And same with the Galaxy, you want to tilt your tumbler a little ways. That way you're trickling your glitter on the heaviest line and it's just trickling up the tumbler to create an ombre. And what I also like to do is I like to go ahead and turn my tumbler the opposite direction so the bottom is facing down and trickle to where it's the heaviest. That way it trickles down into the Galaxy a little bit. And we are going to go back through with all of these colors and do more blending once we get our color palette down on the tumbler. The next color that we're going to go in with is Zest. Now, some of these colors are part of the High Sparkle Neon Bundle available with the Glitter Grind. And y'all, let me tell you this bundle is life, okay? You have to have this bundle. It's so gorgeous. Anyway, we're just going to go in with this Zest, and we're going to do the exact same thing that we did with the Sun Glow. I'm going to start out with a heavy line and go all the way around the tumbler. I'm going to get off the excess, and then I'm going to make my tumbler so the bottom is facing down and just trickle it into the Sun Glow. As you can see, I got a little bit in my Galaxy, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay. Not a big deal. And now I'm going to face my tumbler to where the end of my tumbler is facing upward, and I'm going to let that trickle towards the top. The last color that we're going to go in with is called Lotus, and this is the last neon color that we will be using on this tumbler. Now, The same as the previous 2 sections that I have done, I'm starting out with a fine line of where it's going to be heaviest on my tumbler. Just lightly tapping the glitter bottle, that way it just barely comes out. And then I'm going to change the direction of my tumbler to where the bottom is facing down. That way I get the nice ombre into the previous glitter color. Now we're going to go in with this Purple Rain, which is an absolutely gorgeous purple, by the way. Absolutely love it. So pretty. Same thing as the previous sections. Y'all are probably sick of me saying this by now, you know. Same thing as the previous sections. We're going to make a line of where we want our heaviest glitter to be, and then switching our tumbler, the direction of our tumbler, to where the bottom is facing down, and lightly tapping it, since this is so much darker than our other color. That way it gives a nice little blending effect. Now we're going to go in with our final color here. I'm starting off just really shaking it up towards the rim. This color is called Blueberry, by the way. I don't even remember if I just said that or not. But this is Blueberry, and I'm really shaking it towards the rim, and then I'm going to go in, change the angle of my tumbler to where the bottom is facing down, and that's where I do my tapping motion to make sure that it blends in with that Purple Rain. Now that all of our colors are laid out on our tumbler, we're going to go back through with each color, and we're going to do a lot of blending here. Now this is what our tumbler is looking like. We're going to go ahead and let this dry for 2 hours, and then we're going to go in with Rust-Oleum 2 times clear and seal it. All right, y'all, now this is what our tumbler looks like after we got a coat of epoxy on. It is nice and smooth. We're going to add this little haunted house here, some spooky trees, some bats, and some eyes. Make it nice and spooky and Halloweeny. Halloweeny? Make it nice for Halloween. Oh, good Lord. Okay. So the vinyl that I got is from Courtney's Customs. I will have a link for her down in the description box below. And what I'm doing here is I'm placing the house first because this is going to be my main focal point. And the transfer tape that I'm using is from Courtney's Customs as well. Love both of them. Way better than what I was using. So now I'm just kind of looking over the tumbler. Accidentally got it stuck. You know, we're having a day here. So after I pull this vinyl back up, I can properly align where I want my house. And I always start in the middle, and then I work my way out to the edges. Oh my gosh. And now that I got the house on, we can go in and really kind of judge where we want everything else. I didn't really go in with a plan. I usually don't. I just kind of see what looks good as I go. I know I did want to do the trees next, so I am going to go in with the trees, and then we're going to add the bats. The last thing that I do add is the eye, because I wasn't sure if I was going to actually add the eyes or just keep them out. I didn't want to look too cluttered, but in the end, I did decide to add the eyes. Now, this is what a tumbler looks like with our decals on. Absolutely love it. So obsessed with this tumbler, not going to lie. Now, I do like to have my vinyl set for a little bit, so I'll let it set for about an hour before I put epoxy on it. Now, what I have here is 20 milliliters of epoxy. I am using a fast set. I use Sweetie Petey by DIY Epoxy, and I will have a link for them down in the description box below. And I'm just ensuring that I get a nice, even coat of epoxy all over my tumbler. And then after you're done coating your tumbler with epoxy, you want to go in with a heat gun or a torch I personally like to use a heat gun. I have this one off of Amazon. Fairly cheap. I think it was only like 12 bucks. It's worked for me for the past, goodness, over a year. But you want to go in with a heat gun or a torch to pop any bubbles that might be lingering. But with this epoxy, I've noticed like bubbles are slim to none compared to other epoxies that I've used, which that is another reason why I absolutely love it. And for the fact that it cures in 2 hours. And then after this coat of epoxy is done, you can check your tumbler, but I always like to put 2 coats of epoxy on for my final layers. All right, y'all, this is our final result of our spooky tumbler. I absolutely love this tumbler. It is so gorgeous. I'm so obsessed with it. But I really hope this video inspired you to create your own spooky tumbler or recreate this exact one. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye.